everybody, Amethyst Moonflower, and welcome to my channel. Thank you everybody for watching, and I hope that you'll like or subscribe, hit the bell for more videos. And yeah, so as you can see, today we're going to be doing an updated flip through my big book of shadows. And it's been about almost 6 months since I revealed and walked you through this book when I first made the book and got the pages in and planned everything out. And I only had a little bit in here when I first showed it to you, but in the last 6 months I have done a lot of work, and as you can see, it is chunky. Alright, it is super chunky, and I'll show you here. Now, mind you, the spine is a little bit more than 4 inches thick, and I'm not even but maybe halfway through filling out this book, and it's already bursting at the seams. It's like I can probably stick just like a squeeze. If I squeeze everything down really far, I can get some room in here. But it's beginning to get difficult to add more pages because some of the pages, as you'll see, have been really crafted, and so I'm going to be actually moving a certain section that I'll show you here in just a moment to a binder. So I have this extra binder that I emptied out from other stuff, and it's just I think it's a 2-inch, maybe. I didn't measure it. I'm thinking it's a 2-inch binder, and I got it from Walmart. I love the pattern. I've showed these to you before, I think, when I picked them up. But what I'm going to be doing after I kind of show you what I've done in here is I'm going to be moving a huge section, my entire ritual section, to the binder with you guys to show you why I'm doing that, because I'm afraid that if I continue working in this book and adding more pages and stuff, I'm just not going to have room. And I've also found that because it's so thick and heavy, that during circle, it's actually kind of hard to keep open because it's so thick. So I'm going to just be moving the ritual stuff into the binder today with you guys. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and open it up and show you what I've gotten done so far. So I'm going to have to take my pencil case here and kind of prop up the back side so that I can open it up for you. So as you can see, this is the opening of the book. This is my inner cover page, and here is kind of like my title page, the Book of Shadows of a Cosmic Crystal Mystical Forest Starseed Witch. I mean, it's kind of kooky and crazy, but I love it, and I love the paper. You've seen this before. Now I don't remember if this was in there when I showed it to you last time, but this is just an aesthetics page with the Book of Shadows blessing, and then here we have the Wiccan Read, a poem, The Solitary Witch, the 13 Wiccan Principles, Code of Chivalry with this pretty three-faced goddess here, the Witch's Pyramid, To Know, To Will, To Dare, and To Keep Silent, and this pretty picture that I printed off from the computer. And I mean, I'm going to say I'm not very good at citing things when it's my own personal book. I'm not ever plan on selling this or anything. So, you know, a lot of the information that I have in this book has not been cited. So I'm sorry about that. If I do know where I found it, I'll try and let you know. The 7 Hermetic Principles we have here. And my printer was kind of acting funny when that was printed out. And then I have the Witch's Rune, and then I printed off this off the internet. It was a free PDF, and I got it from, well, if you just type in the Wiccan Creation Story, I'm sure you'll find it. But this is the Moonlight Shop is the where I found it from, but I printed these all off onto, some parchment paper that I got. I do have a kind of a combination of I got the store-bought parchment paper, but I also have like coffee dyed paper that I made myself, as well as like lined paper and craft paper. This is just a star that I found online that I really like, that I put on the back there. And then this is the About Wicca, Witchcraft, Paganism section, which we have different types of pagan practices here. And then what is witchcraft, and then talking about different traditions of witchcraft or types of witches. We have green witch, kitchen witch, ceremonial, psychic, elemental, cosmic, crystal, and modern new age, as well as hereditary. And this is not a complete list, like I think I've mentioned before. This is just a few of the main ones that I felt like putting in here. And then a Wicca section, which is pretty small at this. I got a list here, but I do plan on adding more to this section. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, but I have gotten this magical tools, and I illustrated most of them, or well, not most, but some of them. So the pentacle, the wand, and the athame, and the chalice, the cauldron, and the balsam. And I really love how the font and the illustrations look together. I think it looks so cute. Bowline, mortar and pestle, the candle, censer, and incense. And then here's just a list, sorry, that was my phone, list of more tools and materials that you can use in your craft. And then I have a consecration of tools ritual. And when I write my rituals, I usually, the parts that you're supposed to say, I don't know if you can see it in this lighting, but the parts that you speak, I write in purple, and then the regular stuff I write in black. And then I have a section on altars. Once again, a picture that I found online. I just looked up altars and found one that I liked. And then different types of altars that you might find. Working, seasonal, moon, elemental, ancestral, deity, meditation, and mini spell altar. Those are just a few. And then an altar blessing. And then we go into creating sacred space, and another picture that I found online that I printed out and glued in, indoor spaces as well as outdoor spaces. And then I have a picture here of this like really pretty witchy garden that I love. And then a consecration of sacred space ritual. And then we go into solitary versus coven, and I found these pictures also online that I printed out. And I have just this girl by herself doing circle, and then I have these three, witchy ladies, which give me such Hecate vibes. I love it. But yeah, so to kind of just show visually, I love pictures like this. They inspire me, and it fills the book out more. So we got the differences between solitary and coven, and what to expect, and then your degrees of initiation, for the most part, and a short description of each. And then this is the section for my spiritual journey, which I still haven't filled out yet, but it's on. I think I'm going to be doing that here soon. I just haven't gotten around. I have to be in the mood for it. But these two pictures here are just some pictures that I took of myself in a dress that I made during Halloween. And we did a whole family photo shoot, but these are some pictures I took of just myself, and I just love those pictures of myself. I feel so good about them. And then we have moon phases and lunar energies. So some moon magic, and then the different phases of the moon. And I like painting the moon kind of with this really light lavender purple, and then going around the outline with silver Sharpie, because I just love how that metallic color dances off the page there. And then we have the Western moon calendar. And what I did is in each like circle, I drew a picture to kind of like to go with the name of the moon. So we have the cold moon, snow moon, sat moon, and the pink moon. And that's a little tulip for the pink moon. And then the milk moon, rose moon, thunder moon, grain moon, harvest moon, blood moon, frost moon, and long night's moon. So I love having them illustrated like that. And then here I did the same thing with the Celtic tree moon calendar and drawing the leaves for each one of the moons and then coloring the background white. I think the white really helps them pop off the dyed paper. It looks so pretty. And then, oh, this one's my favorite. I just love the way that looks, the ivy moon. And then more moons and their descriptions. So we have super moon, blood moon, or blue moon, black moon, ring around the moon, the lunar eclipse, the numeral eclipse, solar eclipse, and annular eclipse. And then just a few things to do on each of the new moon and the full moon. And then we go into the Wheel of the Year section here. And this is just a little sundial that I drew that I really like. I kind of feel like I could have did a little better at it, but it's good enough. And then I kind of go into a description of the Wheel of the Year. And then here is the Wheel of the Year, a pagan story. So it's a short story of the god and the goddess and how they travel through the Wheel of the Year. And I love this picture. Oh my gosh. And it really sets the tone for their love and romance as they travel through the Wheel of the Year. It's so pretty. And then we have in bulk here. And like I said, these pictures, I printed them offline and I didn't cite them or anything, but I'm sure if you typed in, in bulk, you could find this picture very easily. You can find the artist. Most of these pictures are pretty popular pictures, or easy to find if that's what you're interested in. And then things to celebrate for in bulk. Here I got some recipes for that Sabbat, and then we have Ostara, Beltane, Litha, Lammas or Lagnasad, Mabon, and Samhain, and Yule, or the winter solstice. So that's what I have in there for all the Sabbats. And then I have the elements section, a description of them, and then I have the element of air, and I still haven't colored these yet, but I'm planning on coloring them with some correspondences in a little bit. And they're not completely filled out because I'm sure I'll find more information. I'm looking for some stuff, maybe like a chant or something for each one. Fire, water, and earth. And I still need to do spirit. And then for the chakras, just talking about the chakras. And then a picture of this lady here to kind of, show where the chakras are located. And I drew her with darker skin because she's so pretty and so chocolatey. I love it. So we have the root chakra. And once again, I do have a lot of empty space because I'm going to be adding more information too. So these are mainly more like your normal correspondences in short description about what it is. So sacral, solar plexus, heart chakra. And these I did draw myself. These ones I did draw and color in myself. I do like to draw. And I would like to say that everything in my book is hand-drawn by me, but it's not, because even though I know that I can draw and I could do it all myself, I just love other people's art as well, and I just like to be inspired by other people's works, and help save time. And then this is a spell casting section that I still haven't put any spells in, but I'm plan on doing that here soon. And then we have magical correspondences and symbols. So here's my color correspondences. And then feather correspondences for all the different colors of feathers. Magical shapes and symbols. Excuse me. Oh. And then here's some more seagulls or symbols, however you want to say it. I'm not really sure what type of symbolism this is. I wrote them down a few years ago, and I saw them online, but I don't know what the type is called, but I love how the style, and I like using these. So I'm sorry if I can't tell you what kind they are. I just saw them a few years ago and wrote them down and didn't cite anybody because I was just using them for myself, you know. So, and then here you got the witch's alphabet. And then we also have in here number correspondences, and you know, my Kayla Snyder is 11, and then my birthday's an 8, and my spiritual name, Amethyst Moonflower, is a 4. So there you go. Daily influences, so every day of the week and its correspondences. And then we have some magical tides, so the day, not just the days of the week, but the times of day as well. And that's all for that section. And then we have the circle casting section here, talking about, you know, the circle and etiquette and things like that. So a few tips on running a circle and all that. And then ritual components, so which is just like a step-by-step thing. Preparing for sacred space, ritual bath, ground and center, and pre-ceremonial blessing. And then here's a little like paperclip bookmark that I like to use. And then the short circle casting and the full circle casting, or the long version I like to call it. Calling the elements, and you can't really see it because it's so squished in here, but I actually drew the triangles to go with each element and colored them in. And then cakes and wine, and closing the circle. And that's it for that section. And then we have the Sabbat section. And then this is when we start to get into my favorite part of my Book of Shadows so far. So as you can see, everything before that was either printed off or, you know, just handwritten stuff and a few pictures here and there. But now this is when I really started to go crazy with the scrapbooking style. And so here, I kind of just painted this all black and used silver marker, and then I filled in this section here. And here is a little, like, just a little thing that I made. Sewed two pieces of paper together, and then wrote the list of crystals for the new moon on here, which I think it's just so cute to have it like this. And then slide that back in there, and then when you flip it, things to do for the new moon. And then this one is essential oil blend, and then this is your incense blend for the new moon. And then here I made a double-sided folder out of the craft paper, which I kind of just made by folding it in on itself, which, I mean, I guess I could show you how I do it some other time. It's kind of hard to explain without showing, but it's really easy. And then in here I have kind of like a new moon wishes intention paper, and then I also have new moon wishing ceremony on my crinkly paper to add texture. And then on this side, I have like new moon checks and then a money spell. And then here's the new moon circle ritual. And then on this side is an extension of that. I have a beautiful picture of Some might say it's the Morgan, some might say it's Hecate, but I wrote Hecate, and then I have like a little invocation here, evocation, and then this is the Charge of the Crone goddess that I printed off. It was a PDF online and sewed it. So it kind of like when you're reading it, it's not just a piece of paper. It kind of is almost like its own little folder booklet. And then I drew the black or the new moon triple goddess symbol on the back there. And then here's the full moon section that I, painted purple and then wrote names of the goddess. And then this is kind of got the same thing going on here. This one is the crystals. And then here we have things to do for the full moon, essential oil blend, as well as the incense blend for the full moon. And then another one of those double-sided folders. And this is a full moon gratitude ceremony and the full moon forgiveness ceremony. Now, I can tell you that I got these two from the Moonology book by, I can't remember who. But yeah, Moonology is where I got those. And then in here, I also have a healing ceremony and a healing chant, ritual bath, which I already did, but then I ended up doing it again, but this one's slightly different. And then blessed water. And then the full moon ritual. And then here, well, just like the new moon, we have the full moon version. And so I have this beautiful picture of the moon goddess, her evocation, which I absolutely love, this evocation. And this little doodle right here, I actually have something very similar on my back. And then we have the silver triple moon, and inside, Charge of the Goddess, also printed off from the internet. And then here are some things that I also kind of wrote down from the Moonology book, but I love these pages. These are a little bit of things about the new moon and the full moon of each sign. So we started with Aries, and new moon is on the front and full moon's on the back, and it's the same for each sign. And I had so much fun making these. I just pretty much used craft paper to make sort of like a title, and then used lined paper here, wrote on it, and then crumpled it up, glued it on, and then, put stitching around the edges to add texture, not really to hold anything on, just for texture. That's what most of it's for, the stitching. And then, taking a little bit of like black ink and just kind of like smudging out the edges to make it look a little bit rough and dirty, which I kind of like that style. And then Taurus, Gemini, and I could probably pull this out now, might help. And then Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, and the bookmark's on here because we just had the full moon in Libra yesterday. To me, it's Monday. The day before was the full moon in Libra. And then we have the Scorpio. And I was planning on doing like these little like one-off spells for each of the zodiacs. And I haven't really done them all yet, but for Scorpio, for the new moon, I have a Scorpio spell to shield yourself from someone obsessed with you. And I kind of just turned it into like a little envelope. And then on the other side, I have a spell for the full moon, which would be Sensual Desires spell. Juicy. And I would like to be able to do something like that for all the moons, just because it's fun and cute. And so yeah, these are all my signs. And then Pisces. And then for the Sabbat ritual section, I did something kind of similar, but each one starts off with a folder type cover page, where on this side it'll show you like everything that you're going to need for the ritual, colors, candles, herbs, crystals, other things that you may need, and additional, notes or whatever. And then on this side, you have the ritual So it's pretty much just black construction paper, you know, with more of that crinkly lined paper glued on there, and then stitching around the edges just to add texture. And then the folder is for anything extra that I might need for that rituals. Here I have a Bridget poem by Raven Willow Rune that I wrote down. And then here is a in bulk seed planting spell. And then yeah, so that's how I write my ritual. And then the same thing for all of them. And I don't have them all filled out, and I have this one marked Ostara because we just did Ostara last weekend. And this is another one of my charm bookmarks. This nice little pentacle, and I glued these tiny little crystal beads on there to kind of mark all the quarters, which I love. So that one was the Ostara one, and I haven't, like I said, filled all of them out yet, but I'm kind of getting them done as they show up throughout the year. And I think I started this book with Samhain, because if you remember, when I first made this book, it was right before October, and I shared it with you guys, I believe, on October 3rd. And so obviously Samhain was the first ritual that I wrote, and I have 3. And this is kind of what I was planning on doing with the extra papers, was making more of these like double-sided things to read off during ceremony, because I just think they look so cute. And if, like, since I work in group, we don't call ourselves a coven, we just call ourselves a group, because we're so laid back with a lot of stuff. But it makes it nice for, like, if you want to hand them off, like, for the poem here, Samhain by Annie Finch, that I wrote down, I can hand this to somebody else to read, and it feels so cute and formal. And this one is... And notice this paper that I used. Oh my goodness. And this is like another picture that I printed out online that I just glued on. But I love the copper foiling and the spider web and these skulls and stuff. This is Charge of the Dark God. And oh, we already did this one. This one is, what is it? We have Ancestors Invocation in this one. So those are my 3, you know, added extras. And I love that. Copper foiling, it's so pretty. And then we have, this one's Yule. So those are my Sabbats. And this section right here, from circle casting, S-bats, Sabbats, and more rituals, all this right here I'm going to be taking out today with you guys and putting them in the other folder, because this is kind of like the big chunky part, and when I do ritual, it'll just be easier to have these in its own little spot, and then I can continue to fill up the rest of the book with just more information and stuff like that. And the rest, sorry, I bumped my camera stand, but the rest of the book I haven't really filled out a lot more. This is kind of where the next phase of the Book of Shadows is at. I've already kind of showed you. I haven't filled any of it out. But, yeah, this is the next part of the journey. Filling out all the herbs and the crystals and the astrology stuff that I've like I said, I only got Scorpio finished. And all this still needs filled out, and I added a new section actually from last time, because I've been doing a lot more deity work than I really ever had. So here, if I'll show you real quick, I've kind of already picked out some deities that I want to write some information about, and I print out this gorgeous picture. I have Pan, Bridget, Gaia, Celine. I love this picture. She was the first goddess that I ever worked with, and I've been working with her for years now, and she's by far one of my favorites. But just recently, Hecate has really come into my life, and I've been so excited to do more work with her, and I've already bought like 3 books to really study her, and it's only been a month and she's already really I love her energy. It's so juicy. So I'm really excited to write about her. And then we have Odin here, which I love this picture of him. He looks so good. Lady Freya, Amun-Ra, Thoth, which is another god that I really love. And then we have Isis and Yamaya, I think is how you say her. It's the mermaid goddess, or the goddess of the sea, but because I'm a Pisces, I really love mermaids, and this mermaid goddess kind of has been popping up for me here and there, and I know it's not really like part of my bloodline or anything, because I think she's originated like in Spain or something like that. But she's just so pretty, and I do want to kind of explore her a little bit more and connect with her. And then, yeah, and so everything else is pretty much still empty through the rest of the book. And so that's where I'm at. And so, here, let me get this sucker. So, yeah, as you can see, I'm only barely halfway through filling in this book, and it's already just overflowing. So we're going to open her up together and get those sections out and put them in that other binder. So because I don't screw these down super tight, I'm able to undo them with my fingers here. Nails make it hard though, but see, look at, I could barely push it down to unscrew these suckers. It's so tight now. And this is why I'm making this move today. And I mean, I would love to be able to have everything all in one book, but I thought 4 inches would be big enough, and apparently it's not. Ha, that's what she said, right? Anyway. Let's get this out of here. And then look, like if it's like barely even hanging on. And as soon as I take it off, everything just pops off. It's not even on the screw anymore. It's almost too much for the book. So, I'm going to lift this up. Now, from here to here. All these pages are going to go in the binder. I'll set these over here for just a moment. And I'm going to have to put these back on. And this is one of the reasons why I love this style of book, because it works a lot like a binder, but it feels more like a book and less like a binder. Even though it functions similarly to one, it feels a lot more like a real book. And you can move things around. You're not bound to it forever, you know. And if you make a mistake, you can just start over. Oh, there we go. Get it in there. And now look. Now I have like almost 2 inches of space to add more information to the book, which I'm going to need that extra space. Well, I'm not going to put the screws on just right now, because actually after I'm done doing this video, I'm probably going to start working on it. So let's move this out of the way and bring in the binder. So we got this one. Oh! I'm so used to working backwards, you guys. So funny. Because the other book, you have to take them out and put them in backwards. Alright, so. First section here. Just like that. There we go. We're almost there. Now, I would love to see what you guys are making as well in your Book of Shadows. And if you want, go ahead and tag me on Instagram, you know, at Amethyst Moonflower, and I will surely see them. Or you can even find me online on Facebook at Amethyst Moonflower. That's my page, and you can, you know, share them and tag me there as well if you want to show me your guys' Book of Shadows, or if you want to let me know what you think of mine. You can always leave a comment down below. Try and be a little nice, don't destroy me now. But yeah, so this is all of my circles and ceremonies and rituals that I do. And look at this. If I can just bring them all in. This actually works perfectly. Look. It actually fills it up just enough to where it's almost square. And then when I'm doing my circle, it lays a lot more open. It's not bending like this. This will make it a lot easier when we're doing ceremony together to read what it is that I wrote. You know, so that's what I love about this. That's why I was really I was a little sad to move it out of the big book, but like I said, I think it's just going to work out better this way. And I think now, yeah, you can see what I did. See, before you couldn't even see those triangles. Now you got the full page, and it lays nice and flat. So I think that this is the right choice for this, so I can use this in group. And I still have a bunch of space left now. Look at how much space I have left now. I got all that I can still add to. Oh, sorry, and my book's falling apart. I'm a mess, you guys. It's okay, though. Not really. So there you go. That is my 6-month update for my big Book of Shadows. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you enjoyed watching me flip through my book and seeing how much progress that I've made. And if you have any ideas of what you think I should do, or something that you want to see me write or draw, or, you know, just any kind of suggestions or comments that you want to make, I love hearing from you guys. So please, you know, just leave those comments and like and subscribe and share, and thank you all for watching my video, and I will see you again next time. Bye!